So just to say a little more, that when separation arises, in a sense what happens is a sort of dream story is created. The story of me arises with separation. When there's no separation, there's no me, there's no story, there just is life happening. But when the dream story arises at a very early age, then in a sense it's a story that's in a circle, like a circular story of gratification and disappointment. What's experienced by me is a life which is sometimes satisfying, sometimes not. But somewhere also, deep within that experience of being separate, is the feeling of being apart from everything. So in a sense, well, not in a sense actually, but the me, the separate me energy, doesn't see reality as it really is. It sees the tree as separate from me. It sees other things, other people, as separate from this energy that's now in the body. And that seeing of the separation is somehow dissatisfying always. It's not fulfilling, because it isn't the actual reality. It's an artificial, dreamt reality, which is experienced by the me, by the person. An apartness. The tree is never really seen as it is, which is no thing tree. The mystery of the tree. The tree is not a real tree. It's an appearance of a tree. It's real and unreal. That's its fullness. Its fullness is that it's nothing appearing as a tree. It's not just an object. The problem for the individual in the dream circle is that the dreamer, the me, lives in only a fixed, real, subject-object reality. In time. In space. It's a fixed, narrow, limited reality. And so the dream seeker looks for something else, but the problem that the dream seeker has, the dream seeker believes they have free will and choice, which has recently been exposed as a fallacy by neuroscientists. I don't know whether you know anything. And with that free will and choice, the seeker then thinks that in order to overcome this feeling of dissatisfaction, as though there's something lost, uses its free will and choice to try and find what that is through Christianity or anything. And maybe would try and find somebody who teaches them how to become enlightened. So they go to a teacher. They find an enlightenment teacher, or a teacher, a psychotherapist, a therapist teacher, or somebody who will help them make steps towards finding fulfillment. But the problem is that the teacher also lives in the dream story, because the teacher is absolutely convinced that they are also a person. I am a me, I am someone in this world, and I can help you to make your story better. I can make your story better. And that's all the dreamer wants, to make a better story. But the whole operation, the whole energy is circular. It's in a circle, and it can find a bit of satisfaction here and dissatisfaction there, and and it's going round, and it's not going anywhere. It's utterly, completely, and wonderfully futile. Because actually what the seeker really doesn't comprehend and can't know, but longs for, is absence, is the vertical, is that which is beyond, it's that which is the infinite. And the dreamer can't know that, because the dreamer only knows that which is real. What it can't know, and what it fears most, is that which is unreal. What it fears most and longs for most is its own absence, because in that absence, suddenly, there's nothing left. So the seeker fears that, because the seeker doesn't want to lose control. It wants to run its life. It's fascinated by the idea that it's going to get there one day, and it will do it itself. I will do this. It's fascination. It's an utterly futile fascination. And as I say, what it fears is losing that ability to find what it wants to find. So this is a fearsome message. This is a message that the seeker doesn't want to hear. This is a message that the mind will always reject. Always, absolutely, just reject. It's being rejected all the time. People are saying, oh no, I know better, I can teach you how to do this, how to find that. Don't listen to this message, there's nothing in it. It gives you nothing. And that's absolutely right, it gives you absolutely nothing. So that's what this is what's going on here, is a sort of undressing, is a sort of undoing. But there is no intention to undo. There's nothing that intends for that undoing, that dissipation to happen. It just seems to happen. And it doesn't have to happen in a meeting, it happens all the time. In a sense, we're always being undone. The seeker's always being undone. So, as I said last night, we can share the ideas that are around us together, and there can arise a sort of clarity, but clarity is not liberation. Clarity is still something that the dreamer can have. The dreamer can even be clear that there isn't a dreamer, but it's still an idea. In the end, this is about death, it's about the end of the dream, which is essentially an energetic thing. But there's nothing here promising that that will happen. There's nothing here promising that you will get out of the trap that the seeker is constantly in, the dilemma of wanting that which you can't have. Essentially, as I say, this is something that's energetic about, something that is contracted, apparently contracted, dissipating into boundlessness. It's very dangerous, so I think you should all leave that.
Why we are attracted to come here?
Well, I think a lot of people come here because they think they're going to get something. The seeker would go somewhere where they think they might get something, but of course it might suddenly be realised that there is nothing to get, which is even, in a way, even more fascinating actually in some way. But also you've probably heard how amazing I am, which is also no, but in some way or other there's a fascination because somewhere what we're talking about here is absolutely already known. Because this is nothing, then nothing that's pretending it's something comes here, because there is something that resonates with this. There's something else that resonates. Not the dreamer, not the seeker. The seeker doesn't resonate, but there's something else that is resonating. And in a sense also, even in the story, there can be a readiness to look beyond the idea that there's something that you can do and you can find.
I, as a person, live in a dream, as you say.
Sorry?
I, as a person, I live in a dream.
Yeah.
In a dream.
You are the dreamer.
I am the dreamer, yeah. But I've heard you say that after liberation, there is life full on. How is this life experienced?
Oh, it's not. But the dreamer, in my use of the words, dreamers experience life, so they experience sitting on a seat. In liberation, there is nothing that experiences anything. So there's no experience of sitting on a seat, there's only sitting on a seat. This can't be known. You can't make this happen because you're there trying to make it happen. When it does suddenly happen, it's realised the utter simplicity of this message, the utter direct simplicity of this message. It's not about somehow there being something mystical or spiritual about sitting on the seat. There isn't something else that's hiding behind sitting on the seat. It's just sitting on the seat. Bang. But the difference between sitting on the seat and somebody experiencing sitting on the seat is immeasurable. One's a limited type, the other's boundless. It's frightening. It's wow. So certainly it is, as far as I'm concerned, it's dreamers that experience life. When that suddenly collapses, that illusion, there is just life. And certainly it's absolutely full on, because there's nothing in the way of it. There's just life. Everything is totally, passionately, nakedly alive and new. Everything is new all the time. Everything is new. The floor we're standing on isn't the floor you saw yesterday. The dreamer would see this. Oh, it's just the floor again. It isn't the floor. It's that which is real and done with. It's always new. I shall make everything new.
So it's just the flow, the simple
well, there isn't a flow even. That's the other awful thing about it. There isn't a continuation. There's no flow. There's nothing happening. There isn't a before and after. There's not a above and below. There's not an inner and outer. There is only this.
But I can talk to you about this dream world.
Well, talking seems to be happening, yes. But it only appears to be happening. It's only an appearance. It's nothing happening.
So we have
this is nothing happening. This is no thing appearing to be something happening.
So the two realities have nothing in common.
So, no, we have nothing in common. Yeah. The dreamer lives in a world that's apart from the reality. But strangely enough, it's interesting that nothing likes talking about the dream.
That was my next question.
Don't forget it's nothing dreaming as well. There's no such thing as a person, but nothing appears as a person. So nothing is also the dream. No thing, the absolute, the wholeness, is the seeking. The seeking is the wholeness, appearing to be something seeking wholeness. So wholeness moves apart, apparently moves apart from itself, and rushes around looking for itself. Isn't that sweet? It's rushing around looking for itself and not being able to find itself, because actually itself is everything. It's a game of hide and seek that is played in an arena which is already that which is everything.
I wouldn't call that sweet, really. I would say it's surreal. It's surreal for me, for this experience. Yeah.
I think the other problem for the dream is that they think that their life is significant, and therefore they think that everything happens in it is so. This room, the trees, and sitting on them is significant. There is no significance. That's the other wonderful thing about freedom. It has no significance. It's completely without intention or meaning or purpose. It just is.
How is this idea of being separated coming to being?
How is
This is coming into being. How is it coming into being?
It isn't coming into being, it already is.
It already is. And how is
It's
it?
only the dreamer that likes to think that something is coming into being. I am coming into being, you know, or this is coming into being, this is a journey into being. There is no journey, there is only being.
Are you getting undone from this dream?
Sorry?
The getting undone is the same?
Well, there isn't any, because in the end there is nothing to get undone. This is perfect, this is complete. But what also arises in this is the idea that this isn't, which just collapses, it's meaningless.
And there's nothing more to say.
No, there isn't, because you see, the problem for the dream is they're always living in what will be. You know, the coming into being will be. There's a whole lot of therapists out there that call themselves, they use the direct approach, which is self-inquiry, as though there is something that can approach something else. I mean, the implication of direct approach is there must be something here that can approach something there. But actually, oh dear.